Welcome back to our channel for another installation day. So today, as you can see, right behind me we have a 3-liter Supra A90 is in for our IPE exhaust upgrade, and because of the time constraint, we have actually removed the factory exhaust system out from the Supra. So this is the factory system and this is the IPE system that is going into the car later. So now let's talk a little bit more about what are the key differences between the factory system versus the IPE system before we have this installed. So first of all, on the factory system, on the mid-pipe area, right over here, as you can see, this is a very huge center resonator. Then to the rear, we have this massive, huge and heavy rear muffler that actually kills off a lot of sound on the B58 Supra. So this car being a Japanese spec, so it does not actually have the OPF or the so-called GPF particulate filters. So with the IPE Catback system installed, you don't actually get the check engine light, so there is no tuning needed. And the key differences between the OPF version and the non-OPF version would be the mid-pipe. So if you are driving a UK spec Supra, on the middle section you will get the OPF, the GPF on the mid-pipe. So now let's move towards to the IPE system. So first of all, the most noticeable difference is that on the IPE mid-pipe right over here, actually, as you can see, the IPE system actually removes the center resonator. It does not have the same center resonator as the factory system, so that your Supra will sound very loud, spotty, aggressive. And to the rear section, we have this newly redesigned IPE Valvetronic muffler. And if you compare it to the factory muffler, obviously this IPE muffler is way smaller, a lot smaller, that gives you the most sound out of your Supra. And another interesting fact about the Supra is that even though it does have valve control from the factory, but it is only limited to one side. So on the factory system, you do have the electric valve actuator, but it's only on the right hand side, and on the left hand side you don't have the valves. Then to the IPE system, they redesigned the entire system so that now this IPE system, it has two valves on both left and right side. So what we will basically do is that we transfer the factory electric valve actuator and put it on the right hand side. Then right over here for the another side, IPE does include this original BMW valve actuator so that we can place it right over here. Then we have this harness to get the signal from the right hand side valve actuator. Together it controls the valves on the left hand side, so that when you put the car into sport mode, both of the valves will be fully open and it will be fully closed at the same time when you put the car back into comfort mode. Also on the IPE muffler section, as you can see, they actually apply a layer of this high temperature heat protection on the muffler, which is a very neat touch from IPE. And also because of the stainless steel material that is being used on the IPE system, because of its design, it is obviously a lot lighter compared to the factory system. So with the IPE system, you get the proper performance, the sound improvements over the factory system. And right over here also we have our beautifully handcrafted IPE tailpipes. So the owner has actually decided to go with the standard chrome silver tips with the IPE logo crafted on the tips instead of the other tips options. But if you wish to have some other color tips, of course we have the titanium blue tips, we have the chrome black tips, and also we do have the carbon fiber tips at additional cost. So that's all for the product explanation part. And this IPE Catback system, the installation is actually quite straightforward, it's pretty simple. So now let's get back to work to install the IPE system onto the Supra. And once we have the exhaust installed, of course we will start up the car and do a sound check, do some revving, listen to how much difference is the IPE system compared to the factory system. So now let's get back to work. Before we start out the Supra, so now we'll talk a little bit about what are the parts that the owner has already installed on the car. So basically, the car is bone stock except that the owner has installed a carbon ductile spoiler. Then we have the IPE Catback exhaust installed. Also, the owner has replaced the factory tires to the Yokohama AD09 tires, as well as the brake pads. They are replaced with the endless brake pads. So basically, these are all the parts that has on the Supra for now. And now we will start up the Supra and listen how it sounds with the brand new IPE Catback exhaust. Alright, so this is how the Supra sounds with the IPE Catback system with the factory downpipes for now. So let us know in the comment sections below, what do you think about the IPE exhaust on the Supra, how does it sound? And also, if you like our content, remember to like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more exciting contents in the future.